Alright, this is our discussion section of the review for the House of Yes.
Yes. That's gonna be my only one, I promise. I had to do one.
He was waiting to do that the whole time.
Yes.
But speaking of the House of Yes.
Yep.
What did you... Jesus.
Alright, discussion. I'm just jumping right in there because I want to explain why I laughed before.
Jump right in.
And you better have seen this movie because it really was good. Unless you're offended easily, but if you are, why are you friends with us? Because chances are no one who's watching this isn't a friend of ours.
Why are you watching?
Anyway, I laughed because... What was it you said exactly?
The plot.
Yeah. The plot went to where it needed to go. Everyone went all the way in this movie. I think we should just start discussion-wise and get, like, everything out of the way except for the characters, because that's going to be the longest part of the discussion. So, reiterating again, the cinematography was nothing special, but it was based on a play, so they couldn't really do too much because it was all based in one house, as a lot of plays
it was an
are.
adaptation, so they did what they could.
The acting was all very good. I didn't have a problem with anyone's acting at all. They all were perfectly able to fulfill the roles that they needed to.
Yeah. I mean...
What?
It's just the beginning of Freddie Prinze Jr. performance. It's just kind of...
Well, it wasn't bad, but the character is so awkward that...
Freddie Prinze Jr. is kind of typecasted as that good-looking guy that the main female character wants to be with or is curious about.
But frankly, he does a bad job with that. So, it was refreshing. I usually don't enjoy him. But it was refreshing finding a role that I was actually able to get into, if you know what I mean. Like, usually it's like, oh...
For me, it's like I accepted his performance because of the character he was playing. He did what he could with his performance. But the character wasn't weak. His character wasn't weak. For what he did perform, it was enough to portray the character effectively.
Alright, so let's barrel on into what's probably going to be the meat of this review, the plot and the characters.
Oh, man.
Where do we even begin?
Where do we begin? Okay, you have incest. You have attempted murder.
Attempted?
Attempted murder.
Attempted?
Oh, wait. There's one case of attempted murder. There's another case of assumed murder.
Yeah.
And so everything's entwined in mystery, but there's so many mysteries that's being revealed, and it feels like it just keeps going on and on with all the secrets.
You want to just start at the beginning?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. So there we see Marty and Leslie in the car debating. Alright, no, Marty's debating whether he should go in or not.
Yeah.
And Leslie's like all for it.
Yeah.
Leslie doesn't know the family.
No, she knows
does.
nothing. Really, she knows nothing.
So you see Marty staring at the house, debating whether to go in or not, and
a really good pregnant stare as well.
So both Leslie and Marty have different things on their mind. Leslie's a little more positive.
I think she's nervous as well.
She's it's a normal reaction to, never
meeting the
parents.
Family. Yeah. Oh wow! You know what I just thought of? This is like Meet the Parents if it was interesting. Ha! Take that, Meet the Parents.
Fuck, man. That was a really popular movie.
Yeah, I know.
Oh well, it's all good. Okay, so they're in the house.
Right.
No, before that. Talk about Anthony and Jackie O.
Yeah.
Anthony and Jackie O are having this,
conversation.
Their
event. It becomes immediately apparent that A, Jackie O's crazy, B, Anthony's not too bright, and C, Jackie O walks all over him.
And the mother has obvious control over her house, but not over the actions of Jackie O.
Yeah.
But Jackie O is pretty much as loyal as she can be to her mom. but not more than
But not more
To
than
Marty.
her desires.
not more than her desires for Marty.
I would say her desires in general, but specifically Marty as well.
She's got some fucking problems. She's like taping up windows just because the news said so. And
Well, that's just regular crazy.
okay,
Well, that's not even crazy because that is a thing to do to prepare for a hurricane.
talk a little more about introduction of Leslie to the family,
Yeah.
because that was like the first big plot turn.
Yeah, it immediately became apparent that Jackie was infatuated with Marty.
They're twins.
I'd also like to
Jeez.
point out that, or I'd just like to say that I refuse to call her Jackie O because Jackie O is kind of the name she calls herself, and it's part of her neuroses. And even though it's just a character, I don't know, I just refuse to call her by the name that is so directly connected with her mental illness.
But that's pretty much what's dominating the character, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, even though it's just a character, and I sound retarded now, I'm trying not to encourage it. I know you're all thinking I'm crazy, but I just wanted to get that out there. So let's get back to the movie. Not long, pretty much right after they get into the house and everyone's in the house, the mother drags Leslie off to the kitchen, and Marty goes to reconnect with Anthony and Jackie. Reconnect with Jackie, if you know what I mean. And really, they instantly start flirting. It's so obvious. As soon as Marty and Jackie are without the mother, although I think they would have flirted even if the mother was there, but without Leslie in the room, they instantly fell into their old routine. Jackie made Marty get her a piece of ice, and like she held his hand with the ice for as long as possible. It was bad. If by bad you mean awkward for the audience.
Yeah, like the flirting that was there is obvious enough,
Yeah.
but then we didn't expect for them to just actually have that
Connection.
I can't come up with a better word than connection,
Yeah.
because they're twins and they had sex,
Right.
so it's like,
Which I think, well, I still wasn't sure if they had had sex at that point. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100%.
yeah, but like they were
It gets revealed pretty quickly, though.
just as the characters were trying to shun the moral dilemma of sleeping with your kin, your sibling, they were just kind of like, it's whatever, we're twins, so, and we have a connection, so it's like,
Well,
fucking yourself in the mirror or masturbation. It's not the same thing. You're trying to fool yourself that it's not wrong.
I don't think it's such a gray area. I mean, I think that Marty is a smart enough person that he knew what would happen by going back to that house. He knew that he would reconnect with Jackie in every way that word's meaning. And I think he even knew that being with Leslie was just an attempt to try and have a normal life, when I don't think he even wanted it, really.
No, I think he truly just wanted to be with Jackie, but he knows that's wrong, so he just chose to love someone, and
Yeah.
that someone was Leslie, and
He even says, exactly, there's a million other
yeah.
women like her in the city, but I chose her.
And when she got into the House of Yes, she was tainted too, because Jackie and Marty did it again. Leslie saw it, and then she felt confused, and then Anthony was still waiting for her upstairs, and she went back upstairs. And
Anthony did the most awkward flirting ever, and then she, in my opinion, became the worst character in the movie. And I'm going to explain that.